Australian politicians on both sides of the political fence have a long and sad history of showing their lack of vision and foresight when it comes to the issue of space. From infamous claims that there's no future in space, which by the way is now a multi-billion-dollar construction and launch industry, through to selling off Woomera's Major Lakehart launch pads for scrap and rejecting repeated offers to join the European Space Agency and the millions in technology spin-offs that spawned for agency members, Australian politicians seem far more interested in feathering their own nests and condemning future generations to what could be a third world economy. Meanwhile, across the Tasman, the situation couldn't be more different. Unlike Australia, New Zealand has a space agency. Not only that, but they're now developing a sophisticated satellite launch capability. Rocket Labs is now nearing completion of its new launch facility on the eastern Mahia Peninsula on New Zealand's North Island. The new spaceport's launch mount and strongback were finally installed in July, just 7 months after construction began. The California-based company will use the Kiwi facility to launch satellite payloads of up to 150 kilograms aboard their 16-metre-high, 1.2-metre-diameter two-stage Electron rocket into orbital altitudes of up to 500 kilometres. Electron uses Rocket Lab's own Rutherford liquid-fueled engines. The first stage uses 9 Rutherford engines, delivering a combined 34,500 pounds of thrust at launch, while a single Rutherford engine delivering 5,000 pounds of thrust will be used on the upper stage. The Rutherford engine, named after the famous Kiwi physicist, uses turbo pumps run by battery-powered electric motors rather than the usual gas generator, expander or pre-burner. Also, the engines are a bit unusual in that they're mostly fabricated primarily through 3D printing, using high-vacuum electron beams rather than lasers to melt layers of metal powder. Rocket Lab says it can take a payload to a 500-kilometre high orbit for less than $5 million. The company's first launch vehicle was the Atea-1, Atea being Māori for space. It was a 6-metre-tall, 60-kilogram suborbital sounding rocket, capable of carrying a small 2-kilogram scientific payload on ballistic flights up to altitudes of 120 kilometres. Atea-1 flew successfully for the first time from the Great Mercury Island near Coromandel on November the 30th, 2009.
This is SpaceTime with Stuart Gary. For more, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Tumblr. Just search for SpaceTime with Stuart Gary.
SpaceTime is brought to you in collaboration with Australian Sky and Telescope magazine. This month, looking at whether the next generation of supercomputers will be able to handle the mega streams of data expected from the next generation of giant telescopes like the Square Kilometre Array.